of castling tree?
Oh,
No?
God, no.
No? Oh, okay.
We didn't even get close to that.
Get that? Oh, okay. Well, see, the reason that I'm going into that is because since you got the other stuff down pat, I figured I could move you to the next thing.
I'm not sure I'd say I have it down pat.
Well, okay, but you did pretty good.
I did well for my first game.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Okay, I wouldn't move you on if I didn't think you were ready.
All right.
But every lesson I always review, so you know.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready.
All right.
Okay, last night we went over the moves and the rules of the game of chess, and today we're going to go over castling. Okay, castling is very simple. It's nowhere near as complicated as the stuff that you learned last night.
Oh, really?
Nowhere near. Okay, when you castle, the object of castling is to get your king to a safe position, because as long as it's in the middle of the board, it's vulnerable to attack.
Okay.
So what you want to do is you want to get your king to safety as quickly as possible. You know, some people castle early, some castle late. It's always better to do it early.
It reminds me of something else, but go ahead.
Okay. Now, when you castle, there's the king side castle, queen side. I'll go into king and queen side later. That's
okay. That's a little advanced.
Right? Yeah, that's a little advanced. So I'm not going to. Okay, you can castle on either side of the board, but when you castle, you have to make sure that the rook that the side that you would like to castle on, the rook must not have previously been moved.
And you must, if you want to castle, it must be with the rook.
Yes.
Okay.
You cannot castle with any other piece.
Okay.
The king and the rook. If this rook has been moved previously, you cannot castle on this side. If this rook has been moved previously, you cannot castle on that side. If the king has been previously moved, you cannot castle at all.
And this sounds, I was saying earlier, it sounds very limiting. And it sounds like totally bogus. I should be able to castle whatever the fuck I want to.
Exactly.
Should not matter if they've moved before or not.
Well.
Well. I just want to put in that this part is bullshit. But go ahead.
Okay. Now, castling is the only time the king moves more than one square.
Oh, okay.
Right. Now, when you castle,
I'm starting to like it now.
Okay. When you castle, no matter which side you castle on, the king moves 2 squares. Meaning when you castle on this side, the king moves 2 squares over, and the rook moves beside it. As so.
Okay.
Now, when you castle on the other side, same deal. The king moves over 2 squares, and the rook moves on the other side of the king.
Why doesn't he move all the way to the furthest adjacent square?
Well,
because it's 2 moves, and that's the rule, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. So, and the rook moves over beside for protection. So, no matter which side you castle, the king moves over 2 squares, the rook takes
all right,
the other side. Now, and that's pretty much the rules of castling. That's it. Now, when you cannot castle, I explained before that the rook or the king cannot previously have been moved. There are other rules too that prevents you from castling. If the king is in check, you cannot castle.
Okay.
If let's say, okay, let me take the pawns off the board and say, okay, if like the king is now the bishop is threatening the king, you cannot castle.
Why not?
Well, because you can't castle out of check. So in order for you to castle, you have to get the king out of check before you can do it.
That sounds like really complicated and unnecessary.
So if you have a bishop here, let's say, okay, he's in check, you block the check.
Okay. So now he can castle.
Now you can castle because you're no longer in check.
Assuming he hasn't moved previously.
Exactly. Okay. That's right.
All right.
Now let's say the bishop is on this square.
Okay.
You cannot castle through check. So, like I said, the king moves over 2 squares.
Yeah.
It's passing through an attacked square.
Oh.
You cannot do that.
Okay. Now, what if you don't notice it?
Well, if you don't notice it, then I guess you can get away with it.
Okay.
Only because you didn't
notice
notice it.
Anyone who knows the rules and notices can call you on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it.
Let's say the bishop is on this square.
Okay.
You cannot castle into check. King moves over 2 squares, right? You're putting yourself in check.
Oh.
So you cannot castle out of check. You cannot castle into check.
Okay.
And you cannot castle through check.
Someone with issues made these rules up. I'm just saying.
Okay, so
someone had some serious issues, but we'll go on.
So those are the rules of castling, and if you have questions, please ask.
Okay.
I will gladly review everything.
All right. I'm not going to record the rest of the game. Any other teaching before I turn it on?
You just want to play now?
Yeah, let's just play.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.